Killa Kela Sweet 16 streaming across all music platforms now. Featuring 16s from Tina Kamau, Orifice Volgatron, Foreign Beggars, Marga, Bob Villain, Illerman, and Trigger. The sounds of Killa Kela Sweet 16s streaming now.
AG Dentistry. In my line of work, not only does what I do with the mouth get reviewed, it's also my instrument. And it's beyond important to me that my teeth get the professional service they deserve. The AG family provide expert dentistry, whether it's NHS or cosmetic. They're the finest in London. Head over to agdentistry.co.uk for more information on treatments and prices. AG Dentistry. Bob Villain.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Go home.
Out on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and all streaming platforms.
Go home.
Killa Kela Podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela Podcast.
This is like dynamically perfect. It has everything. It's amazing.
This is madness.
For those of you just joining us, it's PAULi the PSM inside the place.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Killa Kela Podcast, and we've just discovered a new way of being able to see what we're recording. This is the humble abode, right? We're in central London, okay, but yeah, we've just got a toaster propped to the back now. So we can actually see what we're looking like from the other side of the camera, which is awesome.
Innovation, man.
Innovation. Well, for anyone that is just listening to this, you wouldn't have an understanding of what I'm talking about. But you should have an understanding of what this gentleman's up to. And if you don't, I mean, listen on. You're from around here, aren't you, kid?
I'm from North London.
Originally, innit?
Yeah, from London.
But you're a New Yorkian now.
I've been in New York for about 5 years. So yeah,
Yes.
moved there 2013, 5 years ago. And yeah, loving it.
It's been going good, innit?
Yeah, I haven't
Just
changed
a
my
bit.
accent yet though.
No.
So I'm not like a real New Yorker.
You ain't got that Kelly Osbourne meets Mark Ronson thing yet.
Nah, not that guy.
We were saying how Q-jumpy it can be for like having an English accent in America.
Yeah, if anything, I get more English. Probably like get Cockney. I'm like, all right, mate, what's going on? What geezer?
Yeah. And it's revered. Like people dig it.
Yeah. Or they just look at you really confused and like they think it's cute. Yeah. It's
Dude,
nice.
my surname's Potter, right?
Yeah.
Without fail, every time I hand over my debit card, it's like, oh, as in Harry. Like, and then, I've got my own little puns with it now. It's like, yeah, but with more magic. You know,
Hey, boss.
yeah. So, multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, creator, manufacturer, thrower outer, big upper. Like you're doing it. Do you know what I mean? You're doing your thing.
Respect, man.
Innit?
Respect.
I mean, I've seen you come up from an early jump. Like, what were we doing? It was Gorillaz. Was it Gorillaz?
We did Gorillaz Soundsystem together. I think the last time I saw you in real life was probably like 2012 Secret Garden Party.
So just before you busted, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it was.
Was it 2012? Probably before that, actually. Secret Garden Party might have been before that. I think that was like 2000. Yeah, it's not good festival. That was.
Festival.
It's like 2010 maybe.
Yeah,
it's a while ago.
I think you're right.
Jeez.
Actually, no, you're right. It's 2012, I think. It must have been.
Yeah.
Or something around that time.
Okay.
Because it would have been a minute we hadn't seen each other, and I was 2011.
2011. There you go. Meet in between.
Yeah, we meet in the middle. But yeah. What's New York like though?
New York's like a very intense version of London. Some would describe it as London on crack. It's kind of like the center of the universe. There's always something happening. It's a 24-hour city. Love it, man.
You're loving it.
Super vibey.
But you mentioned pre-record that it hasn't got like the music industry that you felt it might have had earlier years.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the game shifts and like the industry always shifts where it's kind of hotspot is. I remember when I first moved to New York, people were like, why are you moving to New York? Everything's happening in Berlin. And I was like, what really? So I guess creative arts and then like the industry, like, you know, where things happen always shift, and you can kind of be ahead of the curve, or you can kind of just follow your gut and your kind of heart, and that's why I'm in New York more than anything. But yeah, the industry does feel like it's in LA at the moment.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. Although, like, some of my favourite acts are actually from New York at the moment, like Horror.
Yeah.
Oh, Horror. And I remember meeting them back in 2009, 10 or something, at some pop-up in Echo Park, and they were like, oh yeah, no, we're from New York, but we want to come down here. It's like, I knew they was from New York from the jump.
I saw you wearing that Horror t-shirt in one of your interviews as well. So yeah,
I'm a big Horror fan.
Sick.
But also Zilla Kami. You know Zilla Kami?
No.
He's a rapper. Him and Sauce Moolah, they do this group called The Morgue. I'll pass you Instagram. They're fucking sick.
Interested.
Yeah. Like, harder stuff.
Yeah. Horror's hard though, man. I love
Horror's
them.
hard, yeah. 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
There's some
He's
people-
not even allowed in the country. Is that you're talking about? Takeshi 6ix9ine?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He got denied entry
Did he?
like 2 days ago.
What, back into America? Or here?
Into the UK, he wasn't allowed.
Because he was meant to play, wasn't he?
He had 2 shows, London and Manchester.
Why was he?
I'm just repeating information I read on the internet. But yeah, hard.
Their reputation precedes them, and I can't imagine it'll do him much harm.
I don't even know if I can comment.
Yeah, we won't be coming in on this. You know. There is no editing on this one, so as you know.
Say there's no editing.
No, we're not editing a
Mad.
thing, man.
Okay,
Don't edit a
I have
thing.
to edit myself then.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did it all begin? What was your influences? How did it all start?
Probably like on those generic sort of black answers. Started in church.
Church.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the first time I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No way.
Yeah, first time.
Wow, I
I've heard
feel different.
it. Yeah, no worries.
I guess just my community and people that I know, they always say the same thing. Or you watch movies or like documentaries, like, yeah, man, I grew up in the church.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, started in church, and I guess I just saw musicians from a young age doing what they do, and I thought it was always incredible. And yeah, music is obviously a very important part of like church and church culture, gospel culture.
I mean, incredible
Yeah.
talent coming from those camps, that walk of life. It's almost like you're bred with such like dedication. It's bigger than the music.
Yeah, because it's about God, it's
Yeah.
about faith, spirituality. You're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for, you know, your connection, it's a communication between you and God. So yeah, it's spiritual. You're in the spiritual realm more than the physical. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started. And then just like having to, I was like, I want to play an instrument. And being at school, you had to learn an instrument. Went to one of those schools that pushed you to learn an instrument. First instrument was clarinet. Everyone played recorder to start off. And then it was like, you can choose anything now. And I was
Everyone plays recorder.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know anyone that
Did you do
stays on
recorder?
that thing.
like, oh no, I know someone who's sick on
Really?
recorder. Yeah, she's insane.
Dude, I did once. She good, yeah?
Yeah, insane out of this world.
Wow.
Because people kind of went from recorder to flute.
Yeah.
That was like a thing. You know that guy Flute Box?
Yeah. I do,
He's
yeah.
so sick.
I always see him riding a bike up and down here. He must be quite close, I think.
Yeah, you gotta get him on there.
Yeah,
man.
defo. Yeah, man. He's a crack. He's funny.
But yeah, no one was making flute look cool like him.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, I want to play flute. I want to play clarinet.
Yeah.
I don't know why clarinet. But it was like, it looked cooler than flute. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I think I was like really into jazz at the time. My teeth hadn't developed enough that I could play saxophone random.
Saxophone's sexy. That on some rock and roll music is always, for me, it's just like, it kills it. I love sax, yeah.
Sax on rock, yeah?
Yeah, man. You know, like sleazy kind of rock, and you got like a, you know what I mean? It's like, what? Sax.
No, I'm down for some sax. I always remember my dad had this Grover Washington Jr. record, and it was just like the saxophone by a swimming pool. That I always remember that. So I was like, yeah, one day I want to play sax. And then so the progression was like recorder, clarinet, and then eventually sax.
So you got sax down.
Yeah, eventually, but I was never good at it. I was better at clarinet.
This is sick.
And then I got to like secondary school, and it was like, there's nothing cool about like woodwind instruments or brass instruments. There's nothing cool about that.
Okay.
So
Well, that was the perception at school. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna switch it up.
You know when you're like secondary school and everyone's playing guitar?
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I want to play guitar.
Yeah,
like, you know what? In fact, I want to play drums.
Yeah.
And my cousin was a sick drummer in church as well, and he started doing like sessions. I was like, bro, maybe I can be like him. So started playing drums, and that was like when I was, how old are you in secondary school? 11, 12?
11, right, so.
Yeah. And that's it.
As a drummer, like, was there any particular artists that you looked up to and you were like, oh, you know what I mean? I like his chops. You know what I mean? Like, I like his thing.
Yeah, at that time, like, I was still in church massively, so I was looking at gospel drummers, and then there's this whole thing called like gospel chops, and it, I guess it was like really bubbling around that time. There's a guy called Gerald Hayward, who to this day is like one of the most awesome, like, archetypal gospel drummers. He played drums with like Mary J. Blige. Early days it was with Blackstreet. But I remember seeing him play and being like, oh, I want to be like him. He's bad.
That's sick.
Yeah, there was some other guys as well, but like Gerald Hayward was the one that stuck out to me. And then later on, I got into like Chris Dave. I think he's the best drummer in the world.
Chris Daddy
Dave. He's like, he plays with D'Angelo. He's got his own project called the Drumheads. There's a guy called Jojo Mayer. He's got a project called Nerve. He's like a mad guy. Like there's loads of drummers.
Yeah.
Brian Blade is probably my favorite drummer of all time. He's a jazz guy.
Brian Blade.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Brady Blade, his brother. But yeah, Brian is next level.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got the Fellowship, which is his project. I can talk about drummers forever. But
This is amazing.
It's old guys like Sly and Robbie. You can't like knock like those sort of rhythm sections.
Yeah.
So you got to be into like drums and bass and with like some like Jamaican like reggae root stuff as well. I don't know. There's like old jazz like Art Blakey. He was like, he had the Messengers.
That name's really. I mean, as a beatboxer, you know, I feel your passion. It's very hard in this day and age to be so connected with an art form. You know, like beatboxing's become quite this jazz. Like, it's got a kind of more jazz roots, and I think a lot of it is because people, they honour the old school and they respect the peers. Well, a lot of scenes don't do that. So when you're talking about drummers, you know, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you remember like the first time you heard someone beatbox?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was Biz Marquee
Raw.
on a cold chilling. It was an old school. It must have been like 2000, early 2000. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. It must have been 93, 94. But it was on Westwood, and he played it as an old school tribute.
Mad.
Some cold chilling tour with Big Daddy Ken or something. You know?
Yeah.
And then Razel.
Razel,
Yeah,
man.
Razel was, he changed the whole game.
Yeah. That's
But,
crazy.
But that's the history that you want when you're getting into stuff, isn't it? Because if you don't have point of references, you're kind of a little too loose. You know what I mean?
I guess you gotta know where you come from.
Maybe that's the problem with some like more trap orientated rappers, perhaps.
I'm sure they know some of
They
the
must do.
history.
It's so ingrained in America. How could you not?
Yeah, it's like American culture now.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much part of pop culture, like hip hop and trap and music in general.
Yeah. Where do you Yeah, it is. Yeah. She's awesome. Where'd you get a chance to like rehearse and record and whatnot in New? I mean, are there places in New York where you
Home.
just at home?
Home. I'm lucky enough to kind of live with. My housemate is awesome. His name's Chris Hills. He's a wicked musician as well. I was in a band with him when I was like 14, 15. He used to like pick me up and like take me to rehearsals and stuff. This is back in London.
British. He's
British guy. And he moved to New York. Yeah, he moved to New York and was like, hey, like, I'm going to buy this house. It's going to be huge. Let me know if you want to
What?
like take a floor. It's like a big brownstone, like a Victorian house.
What?
I know, it makes no sense, right?
That's amazing.
I know.
So you just went out and bought a house?
Him and his missus, they bought a house together, and
In New York?
In New York.
What, Manhattan? Like?
In Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
In Bed-Stuy, home of hip-hop.
Get out!
Yeah.
What?
So it's like 4 floors, ground floor, basement, first, second. Yeah, 4 floors. And he's like, yeah, if you want to take the top floor, it's all yours. So we basically have the top floor, and then in the living room, we pretty much turn it into a studio. So I can practice there and make as much noise as I need to. Yeah.
Cook a cat. That's insane. That's insane. That's what I describe as being hooked up.
Yeah, no,
in New York, that's a blessing.
super blessing.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. So, do you work actively as an artist out in New York? Do you DJ? Do you do session work? I'm curious. I'm just more curious, really.
No session work in New York. And most of my time in New York is spent living, just experiencing life.
Can I tell you something? Yeah, because the reason why I wanted to come to this point is because your music, when I hear it, it's really quite melancholic and thoughtful. There's a lot of dynamics to it, and it's not like kind of thing where it's not a part-time thing. It sounds like there's a lot of attention to detail, and I think a lot of it's picked up through your orbiting around the places you do. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I take that as a huge compliment. Yeah, I've had to do a lot of living being in New York and just figuring stuff out for myself. It's the first time I really felt like an adult, having to fend for myself. And yeah, like, I guess back to your question of like, what do I do when I'm in New York? I've started DJing a lot, which has been awesome. So you get to experience other music and play it and then see the reaction firsthand of the music. Got a club night that runs monthly. It's called Back to Life.
Is that with what's his name?
Khalil Living
Khalil,
Proof.
yeah.
So from the
He's a
legendary
nice
Living
guy,
Proof,
yeah.
10 years deep
10
now,
years, yeah,
or
man.
11 years this year.
He's a nice guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's
Great
really
guy.
cool. He booked me a couple of times.
Is it?
Yeah, back here, down here at this club.
The Westway?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always talks about the Westway. That's mad. Yeah, back at the Westway, back at the...
Yeah.
Joker.
So you do that with him? You do
that monthly. It's been going pretty well. We're 3 years in. This is our 3rd year.
It's amazing.
Yeah, coming into our 3rd year. Really happy, man. It's all going well. So between doing a monthly party in New York and, drumming and making music, that's pretty much my life. But New York is like, I live. Like I wake up,
and you feel alive.
Yeah, I like cook. I like, you know what I mean? I go and practice a little bit, go for a walk, ride my bike, hang out with mates. Do you know what I mean? I just live.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's no like stress or pressure of kind of like, this is your 9 to 5.
Living the dream, son. That's
Go!
fucking
I'm just
great.
living, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm living, bro.
And then there's Sampha.
Yeah, he's so sick.
So like, that's your boy. I've seen so much of you and him like on stage together.
Yeah.
Like it never fails to be. I'm like, that's you know what I mean? That's awesome. Like, how did that come about?
I've been a fan of Sampha forever.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time hearing his voice and just being like raw, like God, voice of God, and then I kind of just would hear through the grapevine that he's working on a record, or he's got
He's
another
on
EP,
something.
or he's yeah. And then randomly, I was in New York living, and I got a message. I don't know if it was from him or his manager or whoever it was from, and they were like, "Hey, Sampha wants to know if you're around to do some recording." I've only met him a couple of times, like around the way, just like, "Hey, nice to meet you." Not like I didn't know him.
Yeah.
So when I got that message, I was like, "Raw, that's sick." So yeah, he's like, "You around to do some recording on my album?" This was a couple of years ago now, and I was like, "Where you recording?" He's like, "London." I was like, "Definitely in New York." I was like, when you recording? They're like, tomorrow. I was like, I called my my manager at the time, and they were like, Sampha, like the guy that, like Sampha, the Sampha that you love off Sampha. And I was like, yeah, Sampha. They were like,
Crazy.
They were like, book a flight, bro.
Yeah.
So I booked a flight. I don't think Sam even knows that. I think I told them I was in London. I booked a flight. What was supposed to be 1 day of recording turned into 1 week of recording. And yeah, did a load of recording. Some of the stuff made the album. And yeah, when it came around to him doing his tour, I wasn't around on the initial run because I was preoccupied, probably living. But yeah, he always kept in touch, and eventually our calendars synced up, and yeah, ended up on tour with him. And then the mad thing was, I started my artist project. That's probably why I couldn't do it the first time around. I started my artist project, and I was like, all right, focused on my artist project now. Can't do two things at the same time. Can't play drums and do this artist thing. And he was just like, yo, if you want to open for me doing your artist project, then
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I was like, raw. So I ended up doing his European and UK tour and some like US dates, opening for him as PAULi PSM solo act, and then toweling off, coming back on stage, and then beating drums for 90 minutes.
What?
Yeah. We did that.
That's like some crazy costume change that you just got to switch heads for.
Yeah, it's pretty mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's been so fun, and this summer we're doing festivals again. And like since we started, he won the Mercury Prize and stuff. Like he's awesome, man. I don't know anyone who deserves it more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You in the music, you work with him in the writing as well as with his stuff?
We've done some writing together, but nothing's really seen the light of day. Just like being asked to work on his first record as a drummer was
just
the only time
I get you.
kind of worked in the studio and just like with stuff that's come out,
Yeah. I would imagine you get massively incentivized when you know that it's your drums and it's you're putting that on his record, and then you're playing it live, right?
I think it's a responsibility as well, man. It's like you have to give the best account for your being there.
Because it's him.
Yeah,
it's
and because it's you as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because you're triggering stuff as well, aren't you?
Triggering a whole
Because I've seen
stuff.
you. For those of you that haven't seen Sampha's live show, you've got quite a Millennium Falcon style setup going on around it.
Millennium Falcon, that's the new hashtag. Yeah, man, I like to build spaceships. Like drum kits are like old. Spaceships is the new way of like turning up to the gig.
Yeah. Is that relatable to your own show? Do you like having it
For my own show, I started off hiding behind a spaceship for sure, but then I realized I was hiding behind stuff. So now I'm just like all that stuff to one side and give me as much stage space as possible. I want to be doing roly-polies, and if I could do backflips, Lord knows, don't ever bless me with the talent to be able to do a backflip, because I'll be doing backflips into the crowd, horror style.
Yeah,
so,
horror style.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've definitely hidden behind lots of jiggery pokery in the past.
Do you think it's hard to make that transition? I mean, to some people, it's quite a tough, tall order to like do a transition from the back to the front.
Yeah. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Jake Isaacs, the other day. Sick musician as well. Yeah. Check him out.
No, will do.
And he was like, because he used to be a drummer, and now he's like a guitar. He's not a guitar. He's a singing. He's a like folk singer. Can I call him that? Okay. He's probably gonna hate me for saying that, but like
we'll put a beatbox sound effect in, so we don't get it wrong. Yeah.
He's like singer-songwriter vibe, but he sings with an acoustic guitar. But he used to be a drummer. Like I know him as being a drummer from back in the day, and he was like, man, the transition for me was, it took time. Like how
really?
And I think for a lot of guys who come from that, it's difficult to make that transition, especially with the public perception of who you are. Yeah. And even just your own perception of yourself, So
was in like looking at it from recording yourself and seeing it back and seeing how you're doing it, because you're still learning the walk.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like the first few shows, man, flipping X. Someone actually filmed one of my first shows and it's on the net, and I was just like, raw, that's what I look like. Ah, okay. And you can just point out, you know, certain things that are just like, okay, that's... Then the thing is, actually, scrap that. Even when I'm playing drums, I'm performing. And I've always been that drummer that kind of tries to bring the drums to the front of the stage as much as possible. Like when we were doing that Gorillaz stuff, there wasn't no hiding behind a drum kit. I was standing on the drum kit.
I was totally impressed with
I
it.
was running around the stage with
In
the drum
rehearsal
kit.
as well, like rehearsal, you had the gear everywhere as well, you know, and you was doing it.
So no, I didn't. I'm still. I would even say, I find it's been mad transitioning. It's like what you said. It's a costume change, you know. It's like, cool, that's PAULi the drummer. Cool, that's PAULi frontman, you know. And you just own both of them.
Yeah, I think there's more. Well, you get more bang for your buck if you're a punter. But I'd say like nowadays you've got to be more on it as an act. You know, you can't just be like one dimensional, can you? You know.
No.
You got, you know. I really love the one man band effect. You know, obviously being a beatboxer, but like, you know, to be able to just do everything. There's a couple of cats like that are just like killing it on stage. You know.
Yeah.
I've seen of recent. You know.
Yeah.
What's the name of that dude? Oh my God, it's gonna hit me like
looping and stuff.
Yeah.
Youngin.
Yeah.
Is it that one?
There's this one guy with a beard,
Right.
and the way he rips on a guitar, he sounds like he's got like a Prince vibe going
Yeah, I
on.
know you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I forget his name though.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But there's a bunch of them, and you know, it's just the way. It's always impressive to see them kind of working it, but then having the voice, like yourself, you're the voice to back it up, and then and the strength in the songs. Do you know what I mean?
Respect, man.
Yeah, it's for
Respect.
real.
Thank you.
And the releases just keep on coming. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think it's just got to that point now where I just want to put out as much good quality music as possible, you know. I've done a lot up until this point of, you know, working for other people and pushing other people's projects. So I'm like, if I could put that same energy into my own stuff, you know, and then, you know, that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing the fruits of that.
that's an interesting thought, actually. So, the fruits of that, yes, it's happening. Do you ever like think to yourself though, what would be the reason for me to focus so much more on that person's work or concentrate on it so hardly? I mean, I've never understood when people concentrate on that but be a little bit shy to put their own stuff out.
Yeah.
Or do it to their way. Maybe it's a conscious thing of like they're not quite content or satisfied with what they're putting out. Maybe something like that. But I don't get that impression with you. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just, you know what? I feel like I'm just name dropping all my mates, but like.
So we'll pick them up later.
But yeah, my dude Eric Lau said to me, like, if you don't put music out into the world, if you don't have your art in the world, you are denying people potential joy. So then at that point you take it's a bigger responsibility. You take the onus off yourself, and you're like, I need to put this stuff out for the world, you know. And I mean, I don't want it to sound like a big ego boosting statement. It's just more a thing of like, just let go, release. It's the most beautiful thing, man. I feel so at peace letting go of music and having it in the world, and people being able to respond and feel it and you know, interact with it.
It doesn't matter how many people. So if it touches and affects the immediates or one or two,
As the old cliche says.
Yeah, it's true. There's I can throw an addition to that, you know, giving a responsibility to the world by putting out your music, is if you don't put out the music, that creative idea goes not just to the wayside in your head and you forget about it, but it gets projected out into the ether, and someone else will just take it.
Wow, that's like the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
Which is like you, the servant that was given the talent and buried it over the servant that had the talent and invested it. If you bury that talent, you know.
Well, that's deep, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to keep on investing and giving because you'll just keep receiving.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
right.
just bury it in the ground for no one to see.
Yeah, and it's
All those-
crazy the way that works, isn't it?
How many people do you know that have albums and projects and all the rest of it on their hard drive?
I know.
They will never see the light of day. Some of the best stuff you could have imagined, like, that could come out, but you will just never know.
Prince.
No, but he released them, man. He's prolific.
He
did
did
release.
put them out. But apparently he's got like
Vaults
of the stuff. Yeah. On a whole different note, right?
Yeah.
I saw this documentary on this comedian from the UK called Bob Monkhouse. You know this guy?
Yeah.
Right, dude. Did you see this documentary?
No.
Right, so he's got this house, right, that when he passed away, the BBC were allowed access to do this documentary. And his wife was like, yeah, you need to come down and check out his kind of history collection. He collects a bit of stuff. Yeah. They go downstairs and there's this whole floor that's to the same width of his whole house that you go downstairs into. And it's got every single archive piece of footage from every comedian all over, like from like the 60s and earlier. Wow. It's got TV Times magazines, which was like the kind of the weekly like roundup of what's on TV. And if there was any scheduled program that was late, he'd write next to it, actually came on at da-da-da o'clock. He was obsessed with it.
Mad.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's worth a watch. You'll just feel like...
Is it on iPlayer?
It might be, but it's definitely on YouTube.
Okay.
It spammed me out. He had like Lenny Henry's first ever showcase, and Lenny Henry had never seen it before.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like to that level.
What was he recording it on? VHS or?
VHS, but he also went into the archives of the BBC and grabbed stuff that they didn't want. They were like, oh, it's Bob Monkhouse, of course you can.
Has he uploaded it anywhere?
No.
And none of this has been like
No.
re-archived
No,
or
nothing.
categorized, or it's just...
To my knowledge, no. But because this is, I think this came
volumes
out...
and volumes of...
Volumes, like
Wow.
multimedia like stuff, all pre like computer and all that.
Mad.
But it's all like old tapes and reel to reel. Some of the oldest like, you know, Carry On films way back.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's a great YouTube channel waiting to happen.
Believe it is, yeah, totally.
That's
Totally.
mad. That's a big job though.
It's a massive, dude, it's a massive job. So just following on what we were saying, it's like all that stuff there.
Yeah.
That to anybody else that was working at BBC who didn't give a flying shit about the stuff, he gave a shit.
Yeah.
And now it's just, that's there, just like, and no one's ever seen it. Crazy.
It's scary, man. It's scary. I feel like I keep saying responsibility, but I feel like as artists, as creatives, it's our duty to put this stuff into the world, to share our ideas, to share our feelings and our thoughts, We're doing it because there's people out there that can't and won't.
Exactly.
So...
Reaps One has the same sentiment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Reaps is such a don, man. Love that guy.
He's a don.
Yeah.
He's a don. He's I've said it on a bunch of podcasts, so, but it's always these kind of conversations that stick with me, in the people that I chat to, because it's like having a passion for anything. You could be selling me, ice from Iceland, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, if you've got a passion for that, it's like, talk to me about it, you know what I mean?
Dope.
It's good.
Yeah.
And football, you know what I mean? Which is currently in play.
Are you into footy?
No, I'm not. But then there's that Scottish guy, the one that's on grandstand. He already talked he just ramps like up to 13 how much passion you can put into a game. Right. And I could just sit there and watch him for ages, just like, yeah, man, give me the ball, I'm ready. He sells it to me so well. I love that stuff.
That's mad. Yeah. I love how passionate people get about random stuff.
What kind of other stuff do you like doing?
Don't know. This is nice. I've started trying to get into crystals more.
Yeah.
Is this like a quartz or what's the vibe?
Something like that. Nice.
Has it got a story?
No, it's got no story.
But it does this. Pow! Oh man,
it doesn't do that.
Didn't even turn on.
Yeah, yeah.
Plugged in. Damn.
This is purely for ornamental purposes. Well, you like stones and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
You into that sort of thing?
Recently, started collecting stones and gems and crystals from all over, different places I travel. Love traveling. Really love traveling.
Yeah, I see you get about.
Yeah, Air PSM, airlines. That's a thing. What else do I love doing? really love making music. If I wasn't a musician, I'd probably be like farming.
Ooh,
I'm really weirdly into,
agriculture.
yeah, massive into agriculture.
That's awesome.
Bit of horticulture. Yeah, bit of a horticulturalist, green thumb.
That's awesome. You ain't gonna get no green thumbing in New York though.
You know what? Urban gardens are a real thing.
Really?
Yeah, massively. People love having like rooftop gardens, and like a lot of people in the area that I live in, they've got like urban hives, like beehives.
Really?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the outfit could be cool. It's like quite
Oh, that's a video.
astronomical, isn't it?
That's a video waiting to happen, isn't it? You know.
Me in a bee costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah, I'm into plants and stuff, I guess.
So you're gonna get a garden in New York?
I
Can
think
that happen? Can that happen on a?
I think maybe I need to move upstate and then like get some land. It's kind of like moving to the country if you're in London, I guess, like getting somewhere outside the surrounding counties. Yeah, that kind of vibe. Where did you grow up?
I grew up south in Sussex.
Is it?
Yeah, so
Right.
not quite home county, but like south.
Yeah.
More near Brighton.
Yeah.
Green.
Down for Sussex. We're in Sussex?
You know Crawley?
Yeah.
Horsham Way? Is that where you grew up?
No, I know Crawley Welder.
Yeah.
Crawley.
Yeah, Creepy Crawley. Yeah, you
You from
can't.
Crawley?
No, well, there's a village called Billingshurst, which
Okay.
is literally like 6 miles down the road.
Yeah.
But if I say Billingshurst,
Right.
you know, it's just a factory estate pretty much, you know what I mean?
Right.
And a church, you know, it's not, so really not a lot going on. So I say Crawley, then people kind of,
Right.
oh yeah, I've been to Crawley.
Gatwick, Crawley.
Yeah, Gary Crawley. Same
Mad.
difference in it. One's for a plane, the other one's for a fight.
You said it.
Okay, I tell it like it is. No, Crawley's all right. Don't want any bad comments on this one. But
Do you get bad comments?
Nah, I think nah. You know what? The good thing about podcasts is like you can put them up, and you know they kind of they slow burn nicely. So you know, and you can marathon your way through, and you just press play.
Right.
So you don't get much commentary other than likes and things like that, which
Right.
is awesome. So yeah, a conversation like this, for instance, no matter how dated it is, or this is my interpretation, is how I see it.
Yeah.
No matter how old it gets, it's like the conversation. It's still to be listened to.
Wicked.
And it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't think you get that with music. I don't. Well, maybe you do.
No, music dates probably a bit quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I guess. Like, this is like a history lesson in some ways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. It is
The
indeed.
wonderful history
Man.
of ...
Yeah,
Yeah.
PAULi PSM.
Horrible histories.
Oh man, I mean, just the thought of like living in New York would just, I mean, it tickles me. The whole idea is just, I mean, you know me, I'm not going to be staying here for too much longer, but
Yeah.
the whole idea of like being in the center of it all,
Yeah.
that's New York, man.
Yeah, it's the center of the universe, man. It's the place where like zombies always want to attack and aliens, you know, will visit first, and Will Smith has to, you know, save
Yeah.
the White House, and then he has to save New York. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
I love New York, man. I do. I don't know if I'll be there for the rest of my life. I don't know if I'll be there for much longer, in all honesty. But I do love it for now. Yeah.
Well, where would you want to go? I mean, you're a traveller.
Yeah, I'm a proper traveller, innit?
So that's to be discovered later, I suppose.
Yeah. I like the idea of having no fixed abode, but in reality, I don't know how that would work for me.
It's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
With all the other pressures and responsibilities that come with just moving and packing and unpacking and then bills and then, you know what I mean? It's never that easy, is it?
Nah. But I don't mind it, man. I genuinely enjoy traveling. I like seeing the world. What's your favorite place that you've been to? I know you travel quite a bit.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I really love it. You know, it's sunny all the time. Sunny all the time.
All
and
year round.
yeah, and, you know, women wear less. The food is good.
Men wear less as well.
Men wear less as well. Yeah. And I think overall it's like everyone's in America, happy.
Yeah. Are they really happy?
I don't mind if they're not really happy. It's the fact
Yeah.
that they made the effort in the first place
To be fake happy.
and to make you feel happy.
Yeah.
Like over here, it's like
Everyone's smiling with their perfect smiles, perfect teeth, and fucking,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe as Brits we can be a little bit more pessimistic about it, but there's nothing worse than nowadays living in a place that is nothing but pessimism and cynicism.
Yeah.
That's even
But
a
that's
smile
what Brits
goes a
are,
long way.
no?
Huh?
That's what Brits are a bit, no?
I know, yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah. Which is good for when we go to other places. We can see through. We can see through the thing. But do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not belittling or knocking the place itself, but I've lived here long enough, and there's no responsibilities that like root me here. Like yourself, I kind of like the nomadic approach of just like trying something different.
Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't, man. Like, I don't know if we were. I mean, I don't want to like try and go into the history of humanity, but I feel like we are a traveling species.
Yeah,
You
by
know?
default,
Yeah.
moving and growing.
Yeah, and settling for a bit, and then using up the resources and keeping it moving.
Yeah, exactly.
That's generally what we've done.
Settlement, binge, purge next.
Binge,
Basically.
purge next. Settlement, binge, purge next. Strong.
As you can hear, we're in central London right now with PAULi PSM inside the place. We're
what's
just
up.
getting a little deep on it here.
Thanks for doing that. That tag. I don't know. You call it a tag? That was dope. I DJ every now and then. You did that little voice.
Oh
note
yeah,
thing
the
for me.
IDs. Yeah,
The
man.
ID.
How'd it go?
It's hard. It's
Yeah, it's
hard.
hard, innit?
It's very hard.
I'm gonna do a bunch of other ones, I think.
Yeah.
But I did so many, dude. And it's just like, for a while I was like, I had to get a whole hard drive for the stuff. There was so many. But it was, that's it. It was a labour of love because I was just like, man, it just makes sense,
It's so deep, man. So deep. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to come out here and just be fanboying, but yeah, you're a sick guy, man.
Oh, thank you.
That's all I can say.
Likewise,
You're
dude.
a sick guy.
Likewise.
Trust me. The maddest thing was we toured together without even touring together.
No, I know.
Do you know
Isn't
what I
that
mean?
something? Yeah.
Because I think that's the story that I negated to kind of mention is like when we did that Gorillaz project, it was you beatboxing versus me drumming.
Yeah. But on the screen.
On a huge screen because we filmed you, and then we had the 30-foot projector, whatever it was, and I won every night because I knew what he was gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I wasn't there to back him up. I wasn't there to back me up.
Him. That's so mad.
Hey, me, are you okay? No, I'm getting beat every night. Okay, me. You know what I mean?
There's a wicked video on YouTube actually of we played like the Olympic arena in Athens, and someone filmed it from behind of like me versus you.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. Like
I
GSS
need to
Athens.
check that out.
Yeah, it's mad.
I'm going to get it and we're going to put it at the end of this.
Dope, yeah.
We need to do that.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
It's done. We're doing that.
There's so much footage. There's so much interesting footage. It's like a commercial as well. Is it a commercial? It's just like, in fact, yeah, it's like I think it's like the Adidas ad, and it was like,
Send it to me, dude.
yeah, there's lots of little random bits. Yeah, it's good touring with you.
yeah. Thanks, man.
It's mad. So mad.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
It's
You know
ridiculous.
what I mean, this is such a 2018 conversation, isn't it? It's like
IRL, URL.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, is it in real life or online?
you see, it's Muse, the band. They're touring cinemas.
Is it?
Yeah, the whole thing's in cinema.
They're playing gigs in cinemas.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
it's sick, isn't it?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that as an idea. Huh.
I think there's a lot of that's going to be slowly coming to light, isn't it?
Yeah, surround sound.
That's something
Surround
for you to
sound
think
gigs.
about, isn't it?
What, playing gigs in surround sound?
Or something. No, well, something that kind of brings that multimedia aspect to what you do, because you like way I see it with the drums and stuff, and the kind of attitude of the music. I mean, you're rapping, you're singing, you're kind of spoken wording, and you're doing everything. So you could really switch. That could be a fucking awesome idea.
Yeah,
Something.
it needs to be done. But it needs to be done in a kind of cool way.
Yeah, because that moment's quite gimmicky. It would be quite gimmicky.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel contrived. You don't want it to feel like a gimmick. Yeah, yeah. But cinemas, well, do they play with like the screen playing some kind of visual?
Yeah, I think it's just like a movie. It's like going to the movies.
Right.
But I think what it is there is a storyline attached to it to some degree, I think, within the live performance, but no different to if you were going to watch them at Glastonbury or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that's how like early cinema started anyway. It was, the screen and it was silent cinema, and they'd have like a pianist come and play all the music as the screen was telling the story. So
true that.
So I guess, they've just kind of gone back to how early cinema was. There's nothing new under the sun, man.
No, there's nothing. That's so true. What a sentiment. It's so true.
Nothing. Not a
regurgitated.
Yeah. The circle of life, eh?
It is, isn't it?
Oh.
Mad one. Yeah, it's mad.
What's new? What's next for you?
Go to LA again and again, back and forth.
So sick.
Trying to make it happen. Trying and making it happen. Making it happen.
You are making it happen. Trying is not.
Yeah, that's not an option.
My dad said this thing to me the other day. We'll try it on the screen if you don't mind. He's like, try and lift your left hand. You didn't try, you just did it. There's no trying.
Cold.
Hold tight, my dad.
Yeah, hold tight, pops. That's right. EPs and stuff like, you know what I mean? It's like, I think if you can find as many different strings and opportunities to your bow, and you just keep doing as many things as possible, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the lucky ones because, to some people, maybe we're the unlucky ones. Some people have kids and cars and are rooted in a house and things like that. We don't have that, but we have windows of opportunity and bags of time, don't we?
Wow. Do we have bags of time? I don't know. Opportunity, yeah. Time, I don't know, man.
Do you think,
does time even exist? So, yeah, maybe we do have bags of time.
I never feel like I'm kind of bumming around. I always feel like I'm doing something. So maybe that in turn takes away time, doesn't it? Because you're doing stuff.
Yeah. And doing stuff leads to doing more stuff, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
I was on screen battling with you. And I was doing something. You can multitask. You can see.
You are that guy. Man. That's so mad. What do you feel? So I feel like I'm asking you some questions, but like,
it's all right.
Like there's so many beatboxers coming up now. Do you feel that you paved the way for a lot of these kids? Especially in the UK.
Yeah.
Because what you did early on was so. I feel like what you did at that time, no one was really doing. There wasn't like a YouTube. There wasn't, stuff online in the same way. Do you know what I mean? When you came up, it was more like magazines and.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. It was just an advancement of what it was. It was an advancement on the idea of what Razel had done. You know what I mean? And I was just like, well, there's a big painting here that's missing a few like key nice things. So, like as long as I avoid copying that of his and that of his, then I've just got to like invest some time in my mouth and work out what it is that. Do you know what I mean? And anyone could have got to that post. Anyone could have done, but it was just like a momentary happening that just, and that's how it happens, isn't it?
Yeah,
just got there at the right time.
Mad. But then in the UK, was there anyone else doing it at the same time?
It was some. No, there wasn't. Not to the level. Yeah, I mean, not to that level.
See, that's another reason why like America's so attractive as well. I feel like they're always one step ahead.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
I guess there's more people there.
Yeah. But that's what becomes that's the attraction for me, is like, know your worth. Like if you know you're really good, or you believe in that you're really good, and you've had enough, you've had enough of a resume that suggests, you know what, I think I need to do this. You know what I mean? That's my motivation now.
Right,
and I'm sure you had that with New York. You're just like, you know what, I just have to. Because if this opportunity comes once, it's classic Eminem 8 Mile moment. It's like, I've got to do it.
Yeah.
You know it?
Mum spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be that. You want to be like, let's go, you know, and only look back when you need to.
Well, I look back. Just keep moving forward, innit?
What do your family think?
Of what I do.
Yeah.
Or just,
And where you're at, and
it's mad. I guess like my mum never really. I don't think she ever really was into. She's very supportive, but I don't think she ever really got it until I was working with an artist that she knew. So when I was like, I'm working with this guy called Bobby Womack. She was like, Bobby Womack.
Bobby Womack.
She was like, 1 second. She like pulled the record off the shelf and was like, this guy.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, yeah, that guy. And she's like, yeah, you have to do that. That's it. And I want to come to the show. So yeah,
Bobby Womack. Did you work with Bobby Womack?
Uncle Bobby, man.
Dude, he's a don.
R.I.P. Yeah, man. So that was a real
Total
moment.
don, man.
Yeah, we headlined Glastonbury.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the first time he headlined Glastonbury. I think he did it with the Rolling Stones like 30 years before or something crazy.
What?
He's like that guy. Bless him, man.
Fallen heroes.
Just heroes, man. Just proper
Hey, Vinnie
heroes.
Paul from Pantera,
Yeah,
drummer.
So sad. Pantera, sick band.
Sick band. And by all accounts, he's a really nice guy. 54. Crazy, isn't it?
Rock and roll kills.
Makes you count your blessings pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yo, yeah, it just makes you really appreciate every moment, man. You gotta just live every moment to the full, man. Yeah, appreciate every second. I just said the long version of Count Your Blessings.
Yeah. And on that note, we're going to be out like In Was Out of Fashion.
Jeez.
PAULi PSM.
My guy.
Yeah, you know we got
That guy,
this.
that guy.
Yeah.
like
Oh
Killa
man,
Kela.
thanks for coming down. Try doing that on a drum kit. I tell you, man. You've no idea how much influential. Like my dad was a drummer. You've no idea how influential like drums are in the whole grand scheme of things. You know.
It's the heartbeat, man.
It really
It's
is.
the heartbeat, man. It's the beginning and end.
Yeah.
You know.
True that. Ladies and gentlemen, Killa Kela Podcast coming to you live and direct. Stay lucky, stay humble, and enjoy the weather. Peace.
My guy.